everyone. The 2024 planner has arrived. Super excited about it. I did make some changes based off of feedback. And of course, I made changes of things that I have experienced that I felt like is important for you to know as a DON. So I did keep, the positivity here. Something for you to refer back on to let you know, hey, honey, you got this. I did add a welcome letter for you. And what I wanted to add was important things to know. A lot of times you don't know something until you're put into a situation where you have to know it. A lot of DONs going into these positions don't know who the grievance officer is or your abuse coordinator, your ombudsman. In the event you have to evacuate, who is your receiving facility? Those are some of the things that I feel like you don't know until you're put into a situation. So it's important that you find out this information going into these new facilities. When do you hold your monthly QA&A meetings? Important numbers to know. I was doing some travel nursing in a different county, and this county had to report their deaths to the coroner's office all the time. And I was like, what? So it's important that you know your coroner's number, and it's important that you find out with your facility, what do you report to the coroners? Ever look at your death certificate and it says, was a coroner contacted? All right, so I went from doing no from people who might have been hospice and passed away to checking yes to every section on there because that was that county's practice there. And when I called to just even confirm that I was like, are you sure we're supposed to be doing this? And they said, yeah, for this county, yes. All right. And, it was a situation when the coroners actually did come out because the resident had a fall, had some wounds, and they had to then come out and do what they needed to do. Your fire department, who's your fire department, your local gas number. Again, I was traveling and I was smelling gas. All right, nobody knew the number, who I was supposed to be calling. So I wanted to just add that into something that I think you need to know when you're going into these facilities. Start January with here is to an amazing new year. You can't change yesterday. However, you can create many beautiful days ahead. Have fun creating the facility that you want. And that's what I want for you. I don't want you to get up and not want to go to work. I want you to wake up and want to be there. Is it going to be challenging? Yes. But this is what I teach you. Being consistent, knowing what you have to do, and then doing the same thing every day. Yes, there are going to be times where you're going to be putting out fires all day long, especially when you go into a challenge facility and you're just trying to figure it out. But even before you go into that, when you're with me, we have a plan on structuring. When you go into the facilities, what's your function? What's that job description look like? What those evaluations look like? Get a sense of what it is that everyone does on your team and not, oh, well, I thought they did this and I thought that. We don't need you to thought anything. These are things that we need you to know because this is how you're going to have the outcomes that you want. We even have a plan on how you go into the facilities. Your monthly tasks, rounding with staff daily. All right, yes. Rounding is like literally everything that I do. Morning clinical, okay, yes, it's a must. Daily staff meeting, and now don't forget, you're going to be looking at ratios if your state took on that. Your afternoon clinical stand down. So say you have things out that day. You had your morning clinical, you put out your follow-up, but everything didn't get completed. You can't leave it undone and say, I'll do it tomorrow. No, it's a 24/7 commitment. So that person coming on, you can say, hey, Barbara, these are the things that still need followed up for today. And perhaps you might be getting an admission. You have the admission things and say, okay, we're getting a submission. They're going to room so-and-so. We check the room. Everything is there. It's set up. It has everything it needs to have a smooth transition, and just make sure you don't forget blah, blah, blah. It includes them so they know that they are then responsible. If you're not including them in that meeting and it's just like, oh, well, nobody told me, so I'm not going to do it. No, include them. Let them know that they're part of the team. Your RN supervisor is typically the DON when you're not there. They are responsible. And remember, they have less support in those off shifts. So the more you can set them up with planning and preparation, the better outcome they're going to have on that shift. All right. So that's that part. Tracking. I like to track substandard areas. So tube feedings, IVs, trachs, dialysis, infections, weight loss or gain, incidents and accidents, Foley catheters. Those are things that you as a DON should be eyeing at least weekly, but if you can daily, especially if you have residents with tube feeds and they perhaps NPO, what does that oral look like? Okay, making sure they're getting mouth care making sure they have good skin, a good skincare plan, making sure the tea feedings are dated, the poles are clean. It's little things like that can really have a major impact on your survey when surveys come out. And then after that, we go right into your normal day. What are your top 3 priorities? And what are the top priorities that you need to do as a DON? And then what are you going to be delegating to somebody else utilizing the 5 rights of delegation? Your census and PPD is something that you need to be aware of. So you have that there. You round, check your email, your morning clinical, daily staff meeting, your lunch break, clinical stand down. Your lunch break, don't miss it. Don't miss your lunch break. Everybody else gets it. You need to make sure you get it too. All right. I guess I remember working at the desk, doing work, eating at the desk. No. All right. And one of my social workers, we used to go out on walks when the weather was nice. We would go out for a nice walk on our break, you decompress and then go back in there. I don't want you to let work drain you. I want you to enjoy going to work. I want you to enjoy being there. I don't want you to feel suffocated. This is essentially the planner. You can get this on my website, welcome to longtermcare.com. And if you have questions or concerns, click the link in my bio. Have a great day.